Making your way through work Monday takes everything you got. Then Monday night rolls around and you realize there's a shot. You're only 10 points away. All those times when your team had no fight, they're just so gosh darn frail. Then your star quarterback let another deep ball sail, and your third round pick bet on his team. Then go check out our strip where everybody knows your pain, and they listen to complaints. You wanna be where you can see our bodies bring you no shame. You wanna go where everybody knows your pain.
Welcome into another episode of the Dad Fantasy Squad. I am Rob, and I'm here with the Friday episode of my DFS plays for the weekend. Again, this is FanDuel based. The first couple weeks, we've had some injury bugs, unfortunately, early game injury bugs. David Montgomery last week, Trey Lance week 2. So let's hopefully avoid that again this week. Let's just dive right into it, everybody. So again, this is FanDuel pricing, and we will get rolling. Quarterback this week, we are going to start with Russell Wilson at $7,100. I know Denver's offense has not been what we all expected. Unfortunately, they don't seem to be on the same page, but the Titans, they got on track last week against this Raiders defense. And I don't see any reason Russ, the Broncos offense, and all those weapons there can't find the same success that Tennessee did. So we are going to go with Russell Wilson, $7,100, and his Subway footlong that he loves to eat because it's so dangerous. Let's keep it cooking. We are going to go. Tony Pollard is my first running back off the board at $6,000. Pollard's coming off 2 very nice games, back-to-back weeks. Zeke's still eating into some of his work, but that's how it's going to be moving forward. It's gonna be like a 50-50 split, and I think Pollard's gonna get some very valuable targets, some very valuable run in the red zone, and $6,000 for a player he's great. He's a really good player. I think it's a super value, and I'm going to take that discount all day at $6,000. Okay, second RB. We're going with probably the best running back in the league, in my opinion, Nick Chubb, $9,200. So he is the most expensive running back on the board, and for good reason, man. He's a beast. He's gone over 100 yards, I think, in 2 of the 3 games. He's leading the league in touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. Cleveland's going to want to keep their defense on the sideline because they're pretty banged up. Myles Garrett might not play. Clowney might not play. They're going to want to keep the Atlanta offense off the field. So they're going to use Nick Chubb. They're going to use a lot of Kareem Hunt too, but Nick Chubb is going to get a ton of work this week, and I love him in this matchup against maybe the worst rush defense in the league. Moving on, we're going to go for our first wide receiver, Courtland Sutton at $6,800. Yeah, another week, another QB wide receiver stack. You know, I love doing this. Russ and Sutton, that seems to kind of be the connection for Russ. Is Sutton is his kind of guy. Judy's, he's still dinged up a little bit with that shoulder injury. So look for Russ to find Courtland Sutton a ton in this game over the top. I think there's going to be a lot of deep balls in this game to Courtland Sutton, and hopefully he can find the end zone a couple times. That'd be ideal, obviously, for our DFS play. Second wide receiver, we're going to go with Michael Pittman Jr., $7,500. Yeah, man. So Tennessee, their defense has given up a 100-yard receiver in each of the last 2 weeks. I don't see why that's going to change this week with Pittman coming. Pittman's the clear guy in this offense. I mean, JT doesn't look the same. Is that the offensive line? Is that something to do with Matt Ryan? I don't know, but I do know Matt Ryan loves to throw to his number one target, and that is Pittman. So look for Michael Pittman to have another big day. In 2 of his healthy matchups, he's been great. So don't know why that will change this week. So that's an easy play for me, $7,500. That's a pretty big discount for maybe one of the best wide receivers in the game. So let's keep it moving. Christian Kirk is going to be my third wide receiver at $7,600. Yeah, it's going to be a shootout in Philly. Their defense is very good, but they just gave up 100 yards to Terry McLaurin. Christian Kirk is going to demand a ton of targets. They're going to be behind in this game more than likely. We know what Philly's offense can do. So they're probably going to be down a lot, and they're going to have to throw the ball in the second half a ton. And most of that work will go to Christian Kirk. He's proven that he's a great player so far this season. And Trevor Lawrence looks very good. He went 1 touchdown the first week, 2 the second, 3 the third. So Lawrence is getting on track in this offense. He seems to be comfortable. So look for Christian Kirk to have another very nice day at $7,600. Again, that's a pretty good deal for a wide receiver that's doing what he's doing so far this season. Moving on to tight end, we're going to go with David Njoku, $5,700 of the Cleveland Browns. So Njoku just had a monster game against Pittsburgh in the Thursday night game. We all saw that. He looked amazing when Jacoby targeted him. Against Atlanta, they probably are the worst defense against tight ends in the league. So look for David Njoku to have a nice day. Like I said earlier, they're going to try to keep the ball off keep Atlanta off the field. So they're probably going to do a lot more mid-range targets as opposed to deep balls down the field. And look for Njoku to kind of feast on that. And hopefully he'll get a ton of work in the red zone, which I'm anticipating the Browns to be down there a lot in this game. So look for Njoku to have a very nice day again for week 4. Flex play. We're going to go with Greg Dortch again. $5,300. We used him last week, and he put up for us. He did great. That whole him and Marquise Brown had very nice days. But news just came in that Marquise Brown is questionable for this game, which I would still love to play Dortch even if Marquise Brown doesn't play. But especially if Marquise Brown does play, I really like Dortch in this matchup. Carolina's defense is pretty good against the number one receiver on the opposing team. And the number 2 usually feasts because of that. So Chris Olave just went for 9 catches, 147 yards. He has a very similar play style to Greg Dortch. So look for Dortch to have a great game, man. He's gonna find openings down the field. He's gonna get behind the secondary. The safeties seem to be vulnerable to deep ball threats. Greg Dortch is a great deep ball threat. So look for Greg Dortch to be a great play at $5,300. Great value. And this might be one of the last weeks Greg Dortch is going to be valuable with DeAndre Hopkins coming back. So I'm going to use him at that discounted rate. All right, let's see. Our final play for this week is our defense, and that is going to be the Dallas Cowboys at $4,700. Yeah, dude, this defensive line's legit. They have the most sacks in the league. They have the second most quarterback pressures in the league. And Carson Wentz, we've seen it time and time again. Carson Wentz, when he is pressured, he is not good. He throws interceptions. He throws a ton of interceptions. He tries to run around in the backfield. He gets sacked a ton when he gets people in his face. So look for a ton of interceptions, a ton of QB pressures, a ton of sacks. And I am looking for a tough day for this Commanders offense and a very good day for the Dallas Cowboys. And with that, that is our DFS plays of the week. So you guys know where to check us out. We are on Twitter at DadBod Fantasy Squad or DadBod FS. We are on YouTube, DadBod Fantasy Squad. We're on Twitch at DadBod Fantasy Squad. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple iTunes. We are on all the major platforms. So go check us out. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram. Help us out. Subscribe. Like our stuff. Comment on everything. If you guys like stuff, let us know. Let us hear it because it's valuable for us to kind of see what you guys are into. check us out. We'll be here all next week. We're going to try to get on Sunday morning for you guys and give you some early morning questions, get them into us, and we'll go live before the games and hopefully get some of those answered for you guys. I'm Rob for the Dad Bod Fantasy Squad. Peace.